Thanks for joining us from the Ohio AgNet, Voice You Know with the News You Trust studio. Sponsored by BASF, where you can count on the trusted performance of Ellevo seed treatment to protect your soybean crop. I am Allison Kinney. Let's take a look at what's making agricultural news. The Trump administration will release about $3 billion in assistance to U.S. farmers, despite the government shutdown, administration officials told CBS News. The U.S. Department of Agriculture is almost planning to resume operations Thursday. The U.S. Department of Agriculture is also planning to resume operations Thursday at the Farm Service Agency, which runs financial assistance and loan programs for farmers, according to a USDA spokesperson. Many of the agency's operations were shuttered due to the government shutdown. President Trump told the department to give out the $3 billion in aid by tapping a fund that would be used in his first term to aid farmers, officials said. President Trump is committed to supporting America's farmers and ranchers, and this action will release billions in assistance for farmers that Democrats in Congress have held up for over 20 days, the USDA spokesperson had said. Many farmers have faced pressures in recent months as China cuts off soybean purchases amid a trade war with the United States. Also making headlines, President Trump fired back at American cattle producers upset by his plan to buy beef from Argentina to help lower beef prices in the U.S. Arlan Suderman, the chief commodities analyst for StoneX, said the president's post on Truth Social claimed credit for the high beef prices producers are experiencing.
Basically, he's attacking the cattle farmer for not lowering prices and for being upset. I think he's reacting to the emotions he's feeling from the cattle industry for talking about increasing imports from Argentina. And that reaction is creating more problems. Now, first of all, when it comes to Argentina, Argentina doesn't have enough surplus beef to make much of a difference in the U.S. market. I don't think we should be worrying too much about that. But they do have surplus for exporting. Much of that goes to China, and China's going to try to bid that away from us if at all possible. So I don't think Argentina is a big threat. Now, if you take off the 50% tariffs from Brazil, that might be a totally different story.
The post on Truth Social was wrong.
His post about how cattle ranchers need to lower the price for beef and that they're just experiencing good prices today because of his tariffs, that's pretty unfounded. First of all, we've had high cattle prices long before he applied tariffs because we have a tight supply of cattle. We've got the lowest number of cattle in the United States that we've had in 74 years. Demand, though, is very strong in the United States for beef. We've got a good product, and today's consumer wants protein in their diet. And while the 50% tariffs on Brazilian beef are contributing to the higher prices in the United States, that's just a piece of the puzzle, and that is not the main cause. The main cause is the lower numbers and the strong demand that we have in the United States overall.
Arlan Suderman of StoneX. Now to Morgan Anderson as she travels to Southern Ohio to a family orchard.
They say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. But for one Southern Ohio family, apples have kept a legacy alive for nearly 70 years. In Scioto County, just miles from the Ohio River, 3 generations of the Furman family have worked side by side to preserve the region's last commercial orchard.
I'm fortunate enough to learn probably 90% of what I know from my parents, and working with them is just awesome because we all see eye to eye. We grew up, we know the same struggles, we've been through the same hardships together, but we also know, we have an end goal that's, aligned with each other, dreams and all that.
That's Jeremy Furman. He's 26 and is Leanne and Paul's middle son. He's a fruit grower, farmhand, sales manager, you name it.
Mom and Dad own the farm, and I do all the dirty work they don't want to do. Essentially.
Jeremy leads the orchard's innovations. In the last 7 years, he and his family have planted more than 20,000 new trees to create a high-density system that boosts yields and shortens return time.
I've got 3-year-old trees that are producing the same amount as 18-year-old trees.
Leanne, who's been selling produce since she was 6, says that same passion has carried through to her children, like her second oldest daughter, Abby.
We have some customers that have literally seen me at 7 years old working at the farmer's market all the way till I'm 29 right now.
For the full story on the Furman family and their orchard, you can find the full video and article online at www.ohioagnet.com. Reporting, I'm Morgan Anderson.
Now let's take a look at the closing markets, brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance. Learn more online at seedconsultants.com. December corn closing in today up 5 even at 4.28. March corn up 5 1/2 at 4.41 1/4. May corn up 5 3/4 at 4.49 1/4. November soybeans up 10 even at 10.44 3/4. January soybeans up 12 even at 10.62. March soybeans up 12 1/4 at 10.75 1/4. December wheat up 9 1/4 at 5.13. July wheat up 8 1/4 at 5.49 1/2. October live cattle are up 67 cents at 239.72. December live cattle up 135 at 241.17. December lean hogs down 62 cents at 81.77, and February lean hogs are down 87 cents at 84.35. Thanks for joining us. You're listening to the Ohio AgNet.